Hey there everyone, and welcome to another PvP video. In this one I'm going to be doing another one of me fighting against knights. However, if you saw my video yesterday about Spreadshot, that was because of a conversation on the forum about it. And Valendaria, the Rumble staff member on the forum, she has done now an official announcement that they're going to bring in some kind of alternative way to handle Spreadshot. They're not going to be able to fix the bugs related to it, just because of game performance and that kind of thing. However, they're going to be doing some alternative. So we've got that to look forward to, and hopefully that will resolve that issue. This video, I haven't got quite so many clips. I'm going to be doing an archer clip at the end, which I have actually managed to get 3 archer clips since I last did a video on this 2 days ago. So I've got enough for archer clips. It's really good. And what I want to go through in this video is basically the stuff I've missed out so far. So I'm just going to talk a little bit first. One of the things which I haven't mentioned yet is mixing sets for the set bonuses. Now, in general, for PvE, you want the higher stats that you get from the more recent items. Stat inflation goes on, and you need those higher stats in order to be doing crits and all that stuff. However, for PvP, your stats aren't quite so important for all those different other stats, like attack speed, quick chance, crit damage, that kind of thing. And what's more important is health, armor, and damage, that kind of thing, especially elemental stats. However, yeah, those stats you can get in the set bonuses, specifically on the appearance sets, where the three set bonus is health. If you have the VIP items, those are the items which work with any set bonus, then you can mix those sets and you can add loads of health onto your character. On trinkets, it's done with armor, so you can mix those and you can get a lot more armor. Now, this is even more important on knights, and really, this is where like some of the top tier knights are like completely indestructible. Even for me, there's a guy called Emps. He has a brilliant setup where his health and armor are just stupidly high because he has those VIP items and he mixes it. This isn't really for most people to do, and I actually don't really do it myself because I miss out on too many other stats, and for the sake of like moving my jewels around and stuff, but for PvE and PvP, I prefer just to have a PvE setup and go with that into PvP. But I did want to mention it, and it's more important on knights because they have more health and armor on their set bonus. So one of the problems as we've gone on over time is that all the elite jewels give loads of armor, which it's the same for each class. So like the armor increase which knights have over the other two classes is less apparent when you get to the top tier, because we all have those elite jewels. However, because they're able to mix sets and get a load more armor there, that's how they can still distinguish themselves. Anyway, it's a minor thing. Well, big thing if you can do it, but very few can. And the other really big thing here is, so with trinkets, like I said, crit rating's not so important, and crit rating is on the 8th set bonus of trinkets. So you can actually remove some trinkets and not really have any negative effects in PvP. And the main reason why you'd want to do this is using 2 fabled rings. So the trinket set bonus is usually a defensive one, and some of them are really, really powerful. For a long time, it's only in these recent clips where I've taken it off for reasons I'm not going to bother going through. One of the ones which I had, it creates a healing fountain, and it happens almost immediately as soon as you get hit. They can make you tank up so well that you can become a lot tankier than you'd think, which you're going to see in this clip in my next video with Kapal tanking. He has 2 fabled rings on, and they work extremely. They work as I fight him, and he tanks up. And I just can't kill him. Like, no matter what I'm throwing at him, he doesn't die. So yeah, you'll see that there, the power of them there. And so using 2 fabled rings can really make a huge difference, especially on the tanking front. So for archers especially, that's very useful. Anyway, so those are the bits that I have missed out so far. Now for the actual gameplay which I've missed out so far, which is Empowered Frozen Sphere. I have not mentioned it, like, at all. I don't know why. I've been focusing so much on Fiery Aura. And these next clips, unfortunately, they show Fiery Aura more than they do Empowered Frozen Sphere. But I'm going to be mostly commentating on Empowered Frozen Sphere and how I'm using that. Quick little idea of where I use it. It's mainly on knights, and it's to control their movement. So let's say they're close to me, so my flame breath, they're within flame breath distance and that kind of stuff. But they're a little bit away from me, so they can't immediately attack me. That is when I'll Empowered Frozen Sphere. Or if they just try to run away from me at all, I Empowered Frozen Sphere them, because then they can't continue running away. They can't move back to me easily. It's going to take them like a second or two to get back to me. whenever I'm about to teleport away, this is to anyone, I'll usually Empowered Frozen Sphere them, and then teleport away, because then they just can't chase me. And I use this, if you watch back over my last videos, the last 2 videos I've made, me fighting other wizards, me fighting knights, you'll see I use it a lot, and I don't know why I never noticed it when I was like talking, commentating on other stuff, but I use it a lot. I'll throw it in there at the right points. Another great time to use it is when there's a group of enemies, because it will do lots of damage to all of them. So I'm going to get on with the clips now. The ones which we have to go through, I'm actually going to pause now because I've forgotten. Okay, it's this one here, Knight versus Wizard, 1v1, here we go. So, I think this is... No, this isn't the one. So there's an archer in here which is strong too, but he doesn't play particularly well, from what I can remember. So it starts off, I can see he's got no defences, so I just go with a flame cannon straight away. I didn't even use polymorph, or I don't think I even used icicle splash. He was distracted by the archer, and then had no defences, so I could wipe him out. If there's someone weak there, and I'm like powered up with Master of Ice, then I can just immediately Empowered Frozen Sphere them. Now at this point, I'm trying to stack up Fiery Aura, which I don't want to talk about too much, but yeah, that was a perfect Fiery Aura kill there, which is what I was trying to talk about previously. So now at this point, this is another Fiery Aura kill, I think. Like I said, it's good examples of Fiery Aura in this, not actually Empowered Frozen Sphere, but yeah, there are a few cases where I do use it very well. So I think it's here. Nope, that's where I just failed. I was too slow on the defences, and you can see there, he'd used Enrage, used that as he ran up close to me, didn't even use Lord of Winter, and managed to punish the fact I didn't have defences on. So, if you didn't see there, he was kind of wiggling around, so I just Empowered Frozen Sphered him just to get a little bit more control over where he was, because I polymorphed him, so he's just running around. And then now, this guy, he was waiting for the buff, and he was just way too slow to react there. And then again, he punished me. And now it's right at the end, we get one really nice Empowered Frozen Sphere bit, I think. Oh no, this is a teleport in and polymorph him. He knew he was going to angelic form as soon as I did it, and but I knew I could polymorph him. So yeah, here we go. I teleport away, instantly Empowered Frozen Sphere him, and he was trying to run over to me, but he couldn't. I was able to do a flame cannon to finish him off. That kind of instance is just where it really comes into its own. Just that very quick skill use for slowing them can make a huge difference. Now in this one, we do actually get to see a bit of use. I want to say as well, shout out to Nameless. He's a friend of mine, and he actually plays much better than the other two in this clip. I think he's quite happy that he's in this video. So hey Nameless, if you're watching this, but yeah, he plays a lot better than the other two, as I hope you can see. No disrespect to the other two, just Nameless. He seems to anticipate what I'm doing better than the other two. And seeing as there are 3 knights, I do bring out Empowered Frozen Sphere. So, yeah. Here we go. Don't use it straight up. I use it right there. Okay, so I'm just gonna rewind the clip here, so you can see what's gonna happen. So I'm coming in behind him. Now, he goes over to the other guy. At the point when they're both away from me, then I hit them with the Empowered Frozen Sphere. So they then paused, they couldn't come over to me so well. I had enough time to then switch Fiery Aura on, and yeah, got that set up for them when they're attacking me. At this point, I panicked because I had no defences, and then realised, okay, just needed a second to get my defences back on, the cooldown on them, and then I just kind of slaughtered them with Fiery Aura. Yeah. Again here, this is another moment where Empowered Frozen Sphere was really good. So I was taking on Nameless at that time. The other guy is off to the side. He wasn't quite next to me. So as the first skill use, I used Empowered Frozen Sphere, and again there I used it. So he couldn't really get away. He was still within range for me to attack with stuff, and wasn't going to be killed off by Phobos. I think it's Phobos. Anyway, Phobos did manage to get me there though. It's actually fairly close, simply for the reason it's hard for me to kill off knights quickly, so I can't pull off a good lead. Anyway, here as well, I open with Empowered Frozen Sphere. Reason being is they're all together, And so I've buffed up with Master of Ice, which means my water damage does a lot more, and if you saw there, it takes a very nice chunk of all of them. I then go in the middle, and I know Polymorph, none of them have immunity to Polymorph at that point, because you can't have immunity to Polymorph, and so I just, after hitting them with Empowered Frozen Sphere, I also did a Flame Cannon in there just for good measure. I then walk in, Polymorph, Flame Breath. Nameless was very quick to move to the side. He knew, like, he anticipated me coming in and knew it was going to be a problem. And then, yeah, I managed to finish him off, because sadly he was a pig. Or a sheep. I'm not really sure which one he was at that time. I think it does both. This, oh, I love that. Absolutely love that infected pig there. And you could see right at the end, I was readying the Empowered Frozen Sphere on Ben Stuttgart because he was moving away, and I really needed to make sure I took him down before he got away and healed or whatever. Now, sadly, I couldn't... actually, I think I just set him up for a Fariora there. At this point, I want to say I didn't notice the timer, so after I got this double kill on, you know, the two guys on the left here with the infected pig, I then looked at the timer and was like, oh, whoops, it's near the end, and I haven't let Nameless get a kill or anything, so that's why I kind of sat to the side. I let Nameless get in there, then both of them fight, and I dealt with Phobos in the hope that Nameless would get a kill up there, but unfortunately there just wasn't enough time. So yeah, that was that clip. A few Empowered Frozen Sphere uses in there, and I'm just going to finish off with this last clip. This is this is a former guild member of mine. Oh, I can't use the controls. Latortu, there, he's an old guild member, recently left, and very nice guy. But so this isn't really like a special clip by any means. He plays fairly well. He's quite quick with reactions. That's why I named it that. But like, it's nothing too special going on here. It's just a fairly average match with a good archer in it. And it's just for me to talk over. I thought I'd get this one out of the way, because actually I have too many archer clips that I can't fit them in one video. So I'll just show this, because I did want to have La Tortue in here as well. So the last thing I was going to talk about is, I realised I've talked so much about Fariora, but I haven't actually talked about the damage of it. So the way it works is, every time they hit you, they get a damage over time hitting them, which does over a few seconds. And actually the damage from that is a lot. It's mainly the static damage. Because that's 11,000, which for me is roughly kind of the equivalent of 25%. The actual percentage damage is 12.5%. Now it hits 3 or 4 times. I think, let's just say it's 4, because I can't remember the exact number. If it is 4, it's 150% fire you do in return. Now, compare that to Flame Cannon. Flame Cannon does 400% fire in one hit. If they just hit you 3 times where you have Fariora on, they're going to take 400%, like the equivalent of a Flame Cannon in return. That's why it does so much, and you can see there, I used it just Fariora to kill that guy. If they do any more than a couple of attacks, they're going to be damaging themselves so much. And yeah, that's the extent of the damage, and that's why if you stand next to, if you get like a knight to be hitting you with whirl, or wizard hitting you with flame armor, you know, that kind of multiple hitting attacks, it just annihilates them. But as a standalone thing, if you just hit them with, like, for example, as a wizard, you hit another wizard with Polymorph, because the damage over time hits aren't going to trigger it off. And then in, you know, archer or knight, you can hit them with single hitting things which stuns them or silences them, and it lets you get away. Or, you know, there are other ways of dealing with it in that regard. So yeah, do not attack it if someone's using it. And I've said pretty much everything I want to cover now with regards to wizards and knights. So we just got the archer video to do now, where I'm going to be showing some really cool archers and the way they're playing. There's a bit of tanking and all that stuff, so it should be good. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.